definitions and types of social institutions. When we talk of communication, we talk about social forums and platforms. Also, we need to include the institutions which can be a means of social interaction and can provide a social platform for people to get engaged in some communication in order to get better dialogue for the betterment of the community and the learners. The first and foremost institution for such a platform is educational. As it is said, in the educational institutions, all the culture, traditions, information, and whatever is happening in the community is brought into. And it stays there like a collection in a bank. It affects the community, it affects the learners, it affects the community members, and it also affects the norms of the school. Then there are some academic institutions which can be a part of the school as well as it can be a part of the community. For example, there are some tuition centers in which students get together after their school lessons in order to get some extra help. Sometimes these centers are free of cost and are run by the community in order to help the students who need help in different subjects or maybe in order to improve in their behaviors or conducts. Then there are informative centers where such exchange of ideas can take place. The example of informative centers are libraries, IT cafes, where people get together in order to get used to the IT techniques and then have a hands-on experience on the computers. Also, information is exchanged there. There are newspapers available in the magazines available in the library for people to get information. All these places carry the culture because they are being done by the community members who have a certain culture, who have certain traditions, and who have an impact on the younger people who are still learning. Now, collecting all this information, collecting all this knowledge, the individuals move around in the community. So all these platforms are being used to exchange information and to exchange culture, knowledge about the culture, knowledge about the behaviors of people. And there is a system which is actually trying to filter what is good for the community, what is better for the schools, and how can teachers be helpful in filtering out the positive things and the positive elements in the community. Then there are creative centers, like for example, there are games and sports played in some indoor facility, or it can also be an outdoor facility where young people, learners, they meet, they play games, and then they exchange their ideas, show their behaviors, and by a display of their behavior, they carry on their culture. It is also a social forum because ideas are being exchanged, opinions are gathered, and a display of behavior is done, and so much of sharing takes place there. Then there are places which are having collaborative activities. Like there are marriage halls, there are places where people dine together, there are places where people love to sit and talk and thus exchange their ideas and talk about community, school, teacher, and how to make it better. So there is a lot of exchange of ideas taking place, and a lot of collection of culture, tradition, community, and other matters related to education and behaviors are collected.